Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. Homage to the Supreme Buddha. Welcome everyone to our Dhamma talk today too. To talk about our supremely enlightened Buddha. We are here. We are so lucky. Based on the book Acharya Manaso, our teacher Bhante recently wrote. And the translation you have, The Marvelous Sage. So to start our beautiful talk today too, we will go for refuge to the Triple Gem Buddha Dhamma and Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to our most venerable teacher Bhante, our Pinwat Loku Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. Dear Dhamma disciples, so we are very lucky to learn about our supremely enlightened Buddha, to make our minds happy, to learn the teachings of he taught, and to practice and to understand. Based on the marvelous sage, the Acharya Manaso, we are here to talk about many things. If you remember, we talked about his journey coming from the samsara, the repeated cycle of birth and death, collecting good merits and developing wholesome qualities with the only one idea to become the Buddha. He was the Mahabodhisattva, Buddha to be. And then he was born in the human world as Prince Siddhartha, and he had a very luxurious life in the palace in the kingdom. He married to the most beautiful princess in the world, Yashodhara, and he had the beautiful son, Rahula. But anyways, that was not his life he was looking for, that he needed the liberation from all the suffering. And he had his great renunciation, strived in the forest for 6 years, and having so much of suffering, finally he understood the noble truths and he became the Buddha. So after becoming the Buddha, you know, in India, he was sitting under the sacred Bodhi tree. Bodhi tree is the tree he was enlightened, seated under which. And he was sitting under the Bodhi tree on the diamond seat for 7 days. So from now on, we are here to talk about many things. Now, he was the Buddha after the battle with the Mara, the evil one, and now he became the Buddha in this world. He became the teacher of Devas, the heavenly beings, and the teacher of the human beings too. But anyways, the Buddha, after becoming the Supreme Buddha, he was thinking that, is there anybody else in this world with the Maras, Devas? Devas are the heavenly beings, Brahmas, and among humans, wherever a person who is greater than me. He was thinking, he was looking for someone else. Is there anyone else in this world greater than me? For what? I want to have a teacher. Without a teacher, it's painful to live. I need a teacher. Is there anyone else qualified who knows many things than me? Then I need him as my teacher. He was looking for, he was wondering. And this is the sutta or the discourse we have in the teachings in Samyutta Nikaya, the connected discourses. That was called Garava Sutta. Garava is the respect, or he was looking for a teacher. So we are here to talk about that discourse and something more today. This is how I start. I need how about Peter to read the first part? Peter? The Buddha seeks a teacher. Patama Uruvela Sutta is called the name of the discourse.
Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. There the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus. Bhikkhus, Venerable Sir, those bhikkhus replied, the Blessed One said this.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And if I go furthermore, someone else, Linda.
Bhikkhus, on one occasion, I was dwelling at Uruvela by the goat herd's banyan tree on the bank of the Neranjara river, just after I had attained full enlightenment. Then, while I was alone in seclusion, a course of thought arose in my mind thus: it is painful to dwell without reverence and deference. Now, what ascetic or Brahmin can I honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on?
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for your reading. That was the start of the sutta. That was how he started. So remember why he became the Buddha, but he says that without a teacher, it's not good if I live. So I need a teacher. I need a teacher. So this is a very good point that everyone should pay attention on. So we need a teacher. We need a guide. Someone who knows than, someone who is knowledgeable than us, someone who is wiser than us, to guide us, that we can follow and that we can achieve the happiness they achieved. That was what he was looking for too. And then we will see what are the qualities that he considered. Then the Buddha was qualified. If I go furthermore, what about Nituli?
Then it occurred to me, if my aggregate of virtuous behavior were incomplete, for the sake of completing it, I would honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on another ascetic or Brahmin. However, in this world, with its devas, Maran Brahma, among this population with its ascetics and Brahmins, its devas and humans, I do not see another ascetic or Brahmin more accomplished in virtuous behavior than myself, whom I could honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It's a beautiful reading. Thank you for that. So you have very unknown Pali words here. Don't worry about that. You will learn the meaning and the pronunciation too. That was the first point that the Buddha was looking for. What was that? Aggregate of virtuous behavior, which is like the precepts. More virtuous person than the Buddha. He was looking for someone else virtuous than himself. Is there anybody else in this world with Maras, Devas, Brahmas? Maras are the evil one. Devas are the heavenly beings. And then the Brahmas are the beings who live in the high divinities or in the human world. Is there anyone else more virtuous than me? More virtuous than the Supreme Buddha? More virtuous means like the virtue, you know about the precepts you follow. Abstention from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and Buddha has unlimited. The Buddha's virtuous behavior is infinite, unlimited, immeasurable. No one can say that the Buddha is not. Buddha has this kind of fault, or he does anything maybe very simple. He does anything bad or something else. No one can say. No one can see. And then that was the first point he was looking for. Is there anybody else in this world, in the entire universe, wherever, someone else who is virtuous? Why? Why he was looking for someone else for this? Taking this first point, because he needed him or her as his teacher. And then he noticed that with his divine eye, with his knowledge, and with his power of searching in the entire verse, no, there is no one else, nobody else more virtuous than myself. And then we will go to the second point. Aga, are you ready?
I have my Bhante. If my aggregate of concentration were incomplete, for the sake of completing it, I would honor, respect, and dwell in dependence of another ascetic or Brahmin. However, in this world, with its Devas, Mara, and Brahma, among this population with its ascetics and Brahmins, its Devas and humans, I do not see another ascetic or Brahmin more accomplished in aggregate of concentration than myself, whom I could honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for the beautiful reading. Aga, how do you understand this part? He was looking for someone else among Maras, Devas, and everyone else in the world. And how do you understand this part?
Bhante, I understand that Supreme Buddha couldn't find anybody among Devas, Mara, Brahmans, and humans who will be more accomplished in aggregate of concentration. So nobody have higher concentration than the Supreme Buddha.
Very good. Well, how do you understand the word concentration? What does that exactly mean to you?
Is that the ability to still the mind, to focus the mind on a one object, like meditation object?
Yes, it's all about the meditation, huh? Meditations and the higher absorptions, the levels of concentration. And then is there anyone else in this world that can achieve higher concentration than me? And he was looking for, but he could not find anyone else because there was no anyone else. It's not his like the Buddha was not able to find someone else because of his vision is not clear. It's not because there was no anyone else in the world higher than himself. Any questions about it? No. Then the next part. Remember, he was looking for someone else who is more virtuous than himself. That was the first point. Do you remember the first one? And then what was the second one? Second one was the concentration, the meditation. And who is able to read the third part of the lesson?
Swami Master, can I read?
Okay, your chance then. This is your part today.
If my aggregate of wisdom were incomplete, for the sake of completing it, I would honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on another ascetic or Brahmin. However, in this world with its devas, Mara, and Brahma, among this population with its ascetics and Brahmins, its devas and humans, I do not see another ascetic or Brahmin more accomplished in aggregate of wisdom than myself, whom I could honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So that was what he was looking for. Remember, the first one was the virtuous behavior. Is there anybody else in this world who is more virtuous than the Buddha? That was the first. And then the second one was the concentration. Is the achievements of concentration in the meditation. There is no anyone else. And then the third point was the wisdom. Is there anyone else wiser than myself in the world, among the human world, in the heavenly world, in the Brahma world, or someone else? And then what was the result he found? There is no one else. However, in the world with this devas are heavenly beings. No wiser, no one else wiser than himself. And then he says that whom I could honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on. No, nobody else. We will go furthermore, and then maybe anybody else. How about Jewel?
If my aggregate of liberation were incomplete, for the sake of completing it, I would honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on another ascetic or Brahmin. However, in this world with its devas, Mara and Brahma, among this population with its ascetics and Brahmins, its devas and humans, I do not see another ascetic or Brahmin more accomplished in aggregate of liberation than myself, who I could honor, respect, and dwell in dependence on.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I rejoice in the good meditative collected by reading beautifully. Thank you. That was the fourth point that he was looking for. Someone else in the world, in the entire universe, aggregates of liberation. Is there anybody else higher than myself? And then you understand, liberation is the way that achieve the freedom from suffering. And then you might understand the liberation is the nibbana or nirvana. Or nirvana means that the arahantship may be the fourth level of the achievement, the fruition in the path. Sotapanna is stream-empty. Sakadagami, once returner. Anagami, non-returner. And the arahantship is the fully liberated, fully enlightened, which means they have no any rebirths in the samsara, in the repeated cycle of birth and death again. They are freed. Along the journey of samsara, the repeated cycle of birth and death, they have ended up achieving the arahantship. And then the highest liberation was the Buddha's achievement, but after passing away of the Supreme Buddha's life, he is not supposed to be born anywhere else. He ended up his journey of the samsara. And then that was the most incredible achievement ever in the world. And we also have this journey coming from this samsara, life after life after life, we go here and there. We will end up this journey after achieving this arahantship, the liberation. And then the Buddha was the first person who achieved this, who understood this state, and who achieved this state, the liberation. And he taught us the good Dhamma, us to achieve that practice and achieve the same thing. And then after achieving this liberation, he was looking for someone else. Is there anything else more than this? The liberation, ending of this journey. Is there anything else more powerful than this achievement, this liberation? Is there anyone else in the entire universe who have achieved this state of liberation, of that deathless state? And then he himself understood that no, there is no anyone else in this world. See, this is the Buddha. This is the teacher that we went for refuge to. This is our refuge. This is our guide. The Buddha is the highest person in the world. After achieving his wisdom, he looked for someone else. Who is there anybody else in this world greater than myself, higher than myself? First point he achieved was, if you remember, there's virtuous behavior. If there is someone else more virtuous than myself, I would take him as my teacher. Do you remember the second point? Hero. What was the second point the Buddha was looking for?
Is there anyone more than me who has the aggregate of concentration?
Concentration, the meditation. There is no anyone else. And then the third point, wisdom. The wisdom. And then the fourth point is the liberation. And then we will go furthermore. Anybody else who is volunteer to read the next part? I would give you a chance.
So can I read the next one?
Okay. It's so simple. This is how we go.
It occurred to me, let me then honor, respect, and dwell in dependence only on this Dhamma to which I have become fully enlightened.
Sadhu, sadhu. How did you understand this? That's my question. How did you understand that? It occurred to me, let me then honor, respect, and dwell in dependence only on this Dhamma to which I have become fully enlightened. Then who was the teacher of the Buddha?
Dhamma.
His own Dhamma, his own understanding, his own the knowledge he gained after becoming the enlightenment was and became his own teacher. Why? See, even the Buddha wanted to have a teacher for himself. Even he wanted. He became the greatest in the world. He became the highest in the world. He became the foremost in the world. Even though he says that I need a teacher. Who is my teacher? I need someone else to guide me if I have not achieved anything else, something else more. And then he himself thought to himself that I would keep my teacher as my Dhamma. My Dhamma, I understood, I achieved, I followed, is my guide, my teacher. Is that clear, everybody? Is that clear? Okay, good.
My son.
Very good. Then the next chance is for Sandesh. How about Sandesh? I didn't hear your voice for a long time.
I cannot answer.
Then your chance goes like this.
Then Brahma, Sampati, having known with his own mind, the reflection in my mind disappeared from the Brahma world and reappeared before me, just as a strong man might extend his drawn in arm or draw in his extended arm.
Good. Sadhu, sadhu. So Sahampati, the Brahma Sahampati, lives in the Brahma world. And Brahma world is the high divinity, higher than the Devas world, higher than the heavenly worlds. He lives there. And he had a long lifespan. And he saw the previous Buddhas too, a long ago, millions of eons ago. He had that knowledge. He has seen the Buddhas. And then he found that the Buddha's idea, the Buddhas were looking for a teacher in the human world, our Supreme Buddha, and he knew that the Buddha did not find anyone else as for his teacher. And he knew this idea and he came down to the Supreme Buddha. Sahampati, having known with his own mind, reflection on the mind, disappeared from the Brahma world and appeared before me, before the Supreme Buddha. Just as a strong man might extend his drawn in arm and draw in his extended arm. Very quickly, he came and bowed. Maybe Dinara.
It might be my turn answer. He arranged his upper robe over one shoulder, bent down with his right knee on the ground, reverently saluted me and said, "So it is, blessed one. So it is, fortunate one. Bhante, those who were the Arhants, the perfectly enlightened ones in the past, those blessed ones, too, honored, respected, and dwelled in dependence only on the Dhamma."
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. The Brahma Sahampati says, yes, Bhante, it's the perfect idea. So remember the way he came and then he paid his respect to the Supreme Buddha. He arranged his upper robe over one shoulder, like the Bhantes have their robe, right? Maybe like that. In the picture, this is not a perfect picture you see on anyways, I wanted you to have the idea how they bow the Supreme Buddha. So you say that bend down with his right knee on the ground. See, one knee is like 1 foot, one foot on the left foot on the ground, and then the knee on the ground too. He saluted me and said, "Yes, Bhante. Yes." The Blessed One too honored, respected, and dwelled in dependence only of the Dhamma, the previous Buddhas too. And then anybody else who likes to read?
Can I read some answer?
Who is this?
Kemit.
Okay, Kemit. We will go furthermore like this.
Those who will be the Arhants, the perfectly enlightened ones in the future, those blessed ones too, will honor and respect and dwell in dependence only on the Dhamma. Let the blessed one too, who is at present the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, honor, respect, and dwell in dependence only on the Dhamma.
Sadhu, sadhu. Sahampati Brahma says the same thing. You understand? Any questions for that? No. The Buddha had the same idea, and the Sahampati Brahma says that, yes, Bhante, the previous Buddhas did the same. Okay, Isura. Isura, you ready to read the next part? It's Gatha, actually, the translations.
Hey, my son, does Bhante want me to read the Gatha as well, or just
the entire part?
Hey, my sons. This is what Brahma Sahampati said. Having said this, he further said this. The perfect Buddhas of the past, the Buddhas of the future, and the present Buddha, who removes the sorrow of many, all those dwelled, now dwell. In the future will dwell, revering the Dhamma good, the good Dhamma. This is the nature of the Buddhas. Therefore, one desiring the good, aspiring for greatness, should revere the good Dhamma, recollecting the Buddha's teaching.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Isura, see the previous Buddhas also did the same thing. And then they wanted to have the teachers too. And then they appointed their Dhamma as their teacher. And then what do you understand by this point?
From I understood that all the Buddhas in the past and the present Buddha as well, they all realized that there is no greater teacher than themselves at the time, and there will be no greater teacher than them in the future as well.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I wanted to add something more. If there are anything else that you can share with me about this point. Okay, Puti. This Dhamma, his teaching. Oh, yes, it's Hiru.
So can I read the next part?
Okay. Okay, you can definitely. Puti, this Dhamma, he taught us, is the greatest thing, is the greatest thing ever in the world. Even the Buddhas appointed this Dhamma as their teacher. Not only our Supreme Buddha Gautama, previous Buddhas like Kashyapa and the previous Buddhas too, they also found that there is no anyone else greater than themselves. And they also wanted a teacher, and they appointed their Dhamma, their teachings as their teachers too. So this is a very important, very good point for ourselves too. So this is the end of the sutta, the Garava Sutta or the Muchalinda Sutta, the sutta. And then I have something from Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Mahaparinibbana Sutta is the final discourse of the Supreme Buddha. Mahaparinibbana is the passing away. When he was passing away, the Supreme Buddha said something very important to everyone. This is what he said to Mahasangha, to the Bhantes. And then Hiruputta, you can read that. I can share you. Yeah, this part. And then think about the meaning of this extraordinary expression of the Supreme
Buddha. The Buddha's last words. Then the Buddha addressed Venerable Ananda. Now Ananda, some of you might think the teacher's dispensation has passed. Now we have no teacher. But you should not see it like this. The teaching and training that I taught and pointed out for you shall be your teacher after my passing.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for your reading. Anybody else who can share your ideas about this? I will give you some time for this. Anybody else who can say your ideas, your understanding, your points? Okay, Hiru, yes.
So the teaching, like the Buddha, the teacher has not died, because we still have the Dhamma. The Dhamma is spread around the world. There's monks to explain you about the Buddha. It's so the Dhamma is the teacher of everyone. So the Buddha and the Buddha has passed away, but the teacher has not died. The Dhamma is still there in the world.
Okay, yeah, yes. So at the time he was passing, the Buddha addressed the monks, especially to Anandabante, and said, Ananda, you might think that after my passing away, after I am gone, you will have no teacher, you might think. You have no guide. So you do not want to think like that. After my passing away, the Buddha says, after my extinguishment, after my Mahaparinibbana, the Dhamma and the discipline would be your teacher. The Dhamma and the Vinaya will be your teacher. So this is a very good point. After passing, so the Dhamma and the Vinaya, he understood was his teacher. He appointed after becoming the enlightenment under the great Bodhi tree. He thought to himself, yes, I have my Dhamma as my teacher. And when he was passing to, he gave this idea to Mahasangha, to especially Ananda Bhante and the other the Bhantes. You should not think about that. Think about that when I am gone, you would have no teacher. You have lost your teacher. Then you might be lost with that idea. No, you should not think about that. You should not think about like that. After my passing away, Dhamma you have your Dhamma as your guidance, as your teacher, as your refuge. See, so even today, this is a very powerful expression by the Supreme Buddha for ourselves. We do not want to think that the Buddha is gone. We have no Buddha living in this world. But we have this pure Dhamma, the exact word of the Supreme Buddha we have as our teacher, as our guide, and as our refuge. This is a very powerful utterance, very powerful expression by the Supreme Buddha at the time he was passing. Think about it a little bit more. Very good. And this is something that I wanted to share today as a main idea. This Dhamma is the teacher of the Supreme Buddha too. This Dhamma is the teacher for ourselves too. Then why did he want to have a teacher? As a guide, as something that he did not achieve, that he wanted to follow. And Garava is the meaning, Pute. Garava, the Pali word, is the respect. He should have someone else to respect. And we have this Dhamma to respect. The point I wanted to share is when you have the respect to this great Dhamma, that's the first point of your progress. That's the first point that your success you follow. And then when you have the respect, if you remember that when the Bhantes give their Dhamma talk, always they pay respect to the triple gem. You understand? And then when the Bhantes take a Dhamma book to their hands, they pay their respect, they venerate, like keeping their joint palms like this. They pay their veneration to the book. Why? That's how we pay our respect to the Supreme Buddha and his understanding. That's why we do not keep the Dhamma books anywhere, maybe on the ground. We do not keep the Dhamma books on the cushions. Why? Cushions are the things that we sit on. We keep Dhamma books on the tables clean, and we cover the books, we clean the books, we dust the books, and we venerate. Dhamma is the second refuge, Pute. The first refuge we went for is Buddha, and the second one is the Dhamma. Dhamma is the teacher of the Supreme Buddha. So we have this teacher. The Dhamma is the teacher. Even a small bit of Dhamma expressions, Dhamma word, we do not want to be disrespectful. We do not use the Dhamma papers to wrap our food. We never do this. Okay? Even you come to the Stupa Vandana, to the monastery, and you have Parita chanting books. You have some handouts for your chantings. You should not keep them on the ground. You should not keep them on the cushions too. The Dhamma is the teacher we have today. Teacher is a highest person, higher person than ourselves. When we do this respect, Pute, that is the first point of your journey. Without that respect, we have nothing. We have nothing that we can achieve. First thing is the respect. We say Shraddha in Pali, or the faith, or the respect. So that's why my teacher Bhante always says that when you listen to the Dhamma too, you do not walk, you just sit, and then you stay. You should sit stable and respectfully. You should listen to the Dhamma. When you read that too, respectfully, you should read this Dhamma. Maybe when you come, when you listen Dhamma online too, sometimes it's not like in a Dhamma hall that we have people, the Bhantes give Dhamma talk and the people listen. It's not like when we have online classes. Children can do many things with their computers too. But you should not do that. Pay your close attention what the Bhantes say, on the what the Bhantes say. And then you should be very respectful what you listen, to what you listen. Sometimes I have heard that Jivananda Bhante always says that turn your cameras on. Don't be disrespectful, like something like that. That's the respect. You pay veneration to the Bhante. You bow. You pay veneration to the Dhamma. You pay veneration to the Buddha. That's how we start. That's without that Buddha, we have nothing achieved. That's the first step you should have to keep. Okay, if we go furthermore, okay, Yanuki, your chance. This is the next thing that I share with you. Oh, this is the Muchalinda Sutta, Yanuki. Yeah, go ahead.
The Muchalinda Sutta. The Naga Muchalinda shelters the Blessed One. At one time, the Blessed One was dwelling near Uruvela, on the bank of the river Neranjara, at the root of the Muchalinda tree, in the first period after attaining awakening. Then at that time, the Blessed One was sitting in one cross-legged posture for 7 days, experiencing the happiness of freedom.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for the beautiful reading. So after that, the Sahampati Brahma's story, the next thing is the Muchalinda Sutta. Muchalinda is the Nagar, and he came to the Supreme Buddha. So next part is for what about? Yeah, gosh.
When at that time a great cloud arose out of season, bringing 7 days of rainy weather, cold winds, and overcast days. Then the Naga king Mukhalinda, after leaving Domincil and surrounding the Blessed One's body 7 times with its coil, stood with its great hood stretched out above his head, thinking, may the Blessed One not be cold, may the Blessed One not be hot, may the Blessed One not be affected by gad fleas, mosquitoes, wind, the heat of the sun, and serpents.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Next part, the Muchalinda was thinking about that too. And then the next chance is for Hiru?
Then with the passing of those 7 days, the Blessed One arose from the concentration. Then the Naga, King Muchalinda, having understood that the sky was now clear without a cloud, having unraveled his coils from the Blessed One's body, and after withdrawing his own form and creating the appearance of a young Brahmana, stood in front of the Blessed One, revering the Blessed One with raised hands.
Sadhu, sadhu. And then that was how the Muchalinda respected and helped the Buddha from the rain and for a week. And then he collected lots of merit helping the Supreme Buddha too. Muchalinda. That was another part in the time after the Supreme Buddha's enlightenment. And then next part is about the first meal of the Supreme Buddha. And the chance goes to Yenuki. First meal is offered by Tapassu and Ballika. See the beautiful picture. Dinu, your choice.
My son, sir. The first meal is offered by Tapassu and Ballika, the younger brother of Tapassu, their father being a caravan leader in Ukala. While they were going along with 500 trading carts, these stopped near the Rajayatana tree, where the Buddha was sitting 8 weeks after his enlightenment. When they investigated the cause of their carts thus stopping, a deity, their kinsman in a former life, pointed out to them the Buddha and asked them to give him a meal, as he had eaten nothing for 7 weeks.
Sadhu, sadhu. After 7 weeks, he is going to have his meal. So Tapassu and Ballika, their mother became a deity and forced them to offer this beautiful dana to the Supreme Buddha. This is the first meal he receives after his enlightenment after 7 weeks. Before his enlightenment, do you remember who offered the dana, who offered the alms food? We talked about that. Sujata gave that beautiful dana, and after being enlightened, the Buddha received dana from Tapassu and Ballika. Tapassu and Ballika. They were traders, and they were fortunate to offer this first dana. They became the first disciples of the Supreme Buddha, first lay disciples of the Supreme Buddha. This is how they offer their dana. Again, you get the chance. This is the last part of the week today.
I can read Bante.
Okay, sure. Good.
Not waiting to cook, the merchants offered barley, gruel, and honey balls in a bowl provided by the 4 great gods. At the end of the meal, the Buddha talked to them. They accepted the Buddha and the Dhamma as their refuge, and they thus became the Buddha's first lay disciples. They obtained from the Buddha a few hairs as an object of worship.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And the hair that they received from the Supreme Buddha is enshrined in Myanmar, in the Swedagon Stupa, Linda?
Also, I'm not very sure about that, Bante.
Yes, apparently. And then later on, in Sri Lanka too, they came, Tapassu and Ballika, they came to Sri Lanka too with the hair relics too, and they enshrined those relics on a stupa near Trincomalee in the east coast, on the east coast of the country too. And then this is what I wanted to share. The Gaurava, the respect of the Buddha, he appointed his Dhamma as his teacher. And then the second thing we talked about, the Muchalinda, he paid respect to the Buddha, protecting him from the rain and mosquitoes and flies. And then the third one is we talked was the first dana, first alms offering by Tapassu and Ballika. These are the things after becoming enlightened that we can talk about too. So here today also we had something very interesting about our supremely enlightened Buddha. And everything we talked today is a powerful good merit. We are happy to share this good merit with the teacher Bhante, with our teacher Bhante. May our teacher Bhante be well, happy, and be fortunate to understand this noble Dhamma of the Supreme Buddha very soon. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Absolutely, we are happy to share this good merit with the Bhantes who translated this Dhamma to English. Bhikkhu Bodhi Bhante and all the Bhantes all over the world to the websites too. May they be well, happy, and be fortunate to understand this Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May this benefit be dedicated to all the Devas, all the heavenly beings. May they give their protection and support to all of these good people. May they also be fortunate to understand this Dhamma very soon. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all of you who came to listen to this good Dhamma be well, be happy, live long. Your parents, your teachers, your family, your friends, and everybody in this country, everybody all over the world. May you be well, happy, live long. May you be very safe in this pandemic, and may there be no dangers for you. May you have a very happy life, collecting good merits and developing wholesome qualities and achieving your general and the achievements of this life. May you be fortunate to have a very safe rebirth next time and to achieve the ultimate liberation of Nibbana very soon in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.